Well, hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Unplayable's YouTube channel. We're doing something a little different today. Normally, we hit all the spoilers of the week in our podcast, but recently, Ravensburger has unleashed 1 million spoilers. So we thought we'd do our own little video here of just spoilers. Let us know what you think in the comments, so we can keep the podcast talking about anything else than just spoilers. So, y'all ready to dive in?
Let's do
I'm
it.
always ready, dude. I'm always ready.
Go. All right, first new spoiler we have is Befuddle. It costs 1. It is inkable. It's a purple action. Return a character or item with cost 2 or less to their player's hand, and that's uncommon.
Seems fine.
This card's super boring to me. I don't know. There might be some instances in the future when more cards come out that make this kind of a cool combo. I don't think it's worth spending a card on this if you're doing it to your opponent. So I feel like the only use for this is you have an item that you want to bounce to your hand and then play again, or a character that you want to bounce to your hand and play again. But
if it has a play effect or something, or yeah.
It's two things. One thing in my mind that I know I've seen happen is you're playing purple, you play 1 cost Maleficent, and then your opponent plays a character, you play Befuddle on your second turn and return it to their hand, so you get the quest for free without it dying. And then you also get another quest the following turn because they won't be able to challenge into it. So it kind of turns your Maleficent into a 4 lore early game quest. I don't know if that's good, but it's something that I've seen happen.
So it's kind of like one ink for 2 lore, almost, if you have that scenario.
Yeah, right.
Maybe that's decent.
I think if there's ever a deck style around playing a lot of actions, like red, blue, and magic is just playing as many instant and sorceries as you can. I can maybe see it, but yeah, that seemed kind of like the one case I was looking at.
The restriction on it makes it pretty unappealing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Next one. We're cool to move on. So probably the one that we'll all have the most to say about.
Oh, here we go.
Wow.
This card's trash. Don't look at it.
Dive in. Maybe we should have started with this one. All right. We've got Tinkerboom. Cost 6. It's the big giant fairy Tinkerbell. I've been calling it Tinkerboom since the day it released because that's pretty much what it does as soon as it hits the board. So cost 6. It's inkable. It's steel. It has 4 willpower, 4 strength, 5 willpower. Floodborn ally fairy, shift 4, so you can play this on your little Tinkerbell. And it has 2 lore pips. But here's the spice. Here's what happens. It's got 2 abilities. Rock the boat. When you play this character, deal 1 damage to each opposing character. And then second ability, Puny Pirate. During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may deal 2 damage to chosen opposing character. And that is super rare, right?
It is.
Yeah. Super rare, like Genie, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to dive in right now. I love this card. When it dropped, I immediately built mini decks, and over the course of the last week, I've probably played 20-something games with old Tinkerboom, and she is dominant. Now, of course, we still only have a portion of the first set revealed, so maybe there's a time when this isn't as prevalent. But it does seem like this is the abilities on this, the fact that it's a play ability, the fact that it has a challenge ability, the fact that it quests for 2, that's 5 health, you can shift it in. There's just so much to like about this card. I have no criticisms. This is a really great card.
Yeah, I don't think that there's a world in which this card isn't playable and probably isn't good. It does so many things, and you can ink it. Not that you would ever want to, but the fact that you can shift and then immediately get value out of both of the abilities and the 4 attack, and it probably lives, is wild. This could have 1 lore and still be just as good, I think. Maybe not quite. Obviously not just as good, but the fact that it has 2 pushes it over the top to S tier. This is probably best card in the game.
This could be this could have 0 lore. And
Yeah, it could, and
it.
you'd still play it. I don't know if you'd play it in the same decks. I don't know if it would be as ubiquitous, but you could still play it.
That would be wild.
It's that good. It costs 4, and it deals at least 3 damage most of the time the turn that it comes into play to the one thing that you want to deal 3 damage to, and then 1 to everything else.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I find myself doing these math equations in my head, and it gets dangerous when I'm doing math in a game. But the whole time I'm looking at their board, I'm just thinking like, okay, if I fire the cannons early for 2, can I pop this down to have a surprise kill? Or where do we get within 3 even within 4, because it can be this and smash or this and fire the cannons or whatever. It is just absolute value. I mean, I sent you guys not actual videos on YouTube. I just filmed it on my camera while I was playing. But multiple turns where I was playing this and I killed like 3 or 4 creatures in a turn. The day one when this was released, I was playing on Pixelborn, and the opponent's first like 4 turns or whatever, they played like 2 Pascal and 2 1-cost Maleficents. And I dropped
GG.
this on turn 4 shift and just wiped it. I said, this is... I mean, what do you want?
It's so funny because like that was such a dominant strategy before this came out, was just like play all your Pascals, play your 1-cost Maleficents, and then quest for a bunch of lore. That's completely done now. Like
Gone.
Yeah.
Yep.
This just completely comes in and just absolutely shifts the power level of everything.
I see what you did there, shifts. Yeah.
I think this is the most meta shaping card that we've gotten dropped yet, and it's just there's no reason this card's not uninkable. I mean, it's so insanely high value, and it's inkable. Like
it does everything you want it to do. It like helps you win the game through 2 lore. It helps you control your opponent's
many
board.
of the times, I mean, even late game and not shifting it, like so many of the times, this card is a board wipe, and you get a character on the board, which is just nuts. Because so much, at least up until this point, we were saying that 3/4s were really good because they trade into things, and then you also survive. But with 1 health, this just eliminates that whole factor of like getting positive trades. And this is just like, nah, that doesn't
have 5
matter
health
anymore.
now.
Yeah,
well, 5 health loses to this as well.
Yeah, even 5 health.
Because
Like
it's 1 damage immediately.
Yeah, 1 damage plus you shift in and attack for 4, so you have to have more than 5 health, which is brutal.
Yeah, that's hard.
On turn 4, when this is getting shifted in, that's not happening either.
Yeah.
So wild card.
So 9 health. Triton meta.
This is a lot.
Triton meta indeed.
There's so much I could say about this card, and there's things that I really like about it because it like eliminates that Rockstar Stitch combo deck from being like super viable. But I also don't like that it makes positive trades less viable. So, I mean, it's a give and take there, but there's so much I can say about this card, but we have way more to cover. So.
All right.
Yeah, we should probably keep going.
Move on to the next one.
Yep. All right. Wow, we haven't even talked about this yet. That's crazy. We've got Simba. It's Gamboge color. It costs sorry, I had to. It's a yellow amber card. Cost 2. It's inkable. 2 strength, 3 willpower. Storyborn hero prince with 1 lore pip and bodyguard as a common.
Seems fine. It's cool to have a cheap bodyguard.
When this came out, we didn't have Tinkerbell yet, so I was like, nice. Rockstar Stitch gets another character to put into play, and it's got bodyguard. Yeah, and then Tinkerbell came out, and I was like, this is a lot less good.
Yeah,
I still think it's a good two drop though.
Yeah,
I mean, it does force Tinkerbell to fight this though, because like Tinkerbell would want to pop this with the 2 extra damage. Instead, it's got to hit this instead. So it makes it a little more clunky, but
I think the issue is that Baby Hook just eats it.
Yeah. Well,
and
that's anything at 3. Come on.
Yeah. Right. I'm just saying, like, if you come in exerted and there's gonna be awkward times if you are playing steel where you're like,
I don't even play Baby Hook in my steel decks anymore.
Wow.
Because Tinkerbell's just so good. Like, you don't even need to.
Where have we gone in this meta? Unreal.
That's
unplayable.
Yeah.
It's just not necessary.
Hot take, Mike. Let's save that for the cast.
All right. Let's move to the next one.
Yeah. Next one. All right. I was so pumped to see this guy. We've got Croc from Emperor's New Groove. It's a steel 6 cost inkable 6 strength, 6 willpower, 2 lore pips at uncommon. Just a vanilla Storyborn ally.
Have any of us put this in a deck yet?
Squeakers,
me,
squeakers.
yes, for sure.
Yeah, you played it.
4 of in both of my steel decks right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
As anti Tinkerbell tech.
Anti-tinker. You gotta have 5 health or more, otherwise you making the cut.
I looked at servers at 5, and it seemed pretty solid as a 5/6 to ink or quest for 1. This is +1 attack and +1, so I mean, it makes some good trades. Stays alive and can quest for 2 when needed.
I think he's really good.
Sounds reasonable.
Sven is a 6 cost for purple, and he's a 5/7, but he only quests for 1. I think this is just infinitely better.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't talked about this on the podcast and like strategy yet, which we are getting to. So if you want to hear about that before Gen Con, stay tuned. But I've completely reversed my opinion on like lore value mattering. I think it's actually matters a lot now with the way that they've dropped spoilers. But we'll get into that another time. But I think this guy's really good.
Yeah, agreed. My first inclination was I wasn't crazy about it, but Tinkerboom changed my mind. So
yeah.
All right, next card. We've got Pongo. We're coming in red. Cost 4 inkable, 2 strength, 3 willpower with 2 lore pips and evasive at common. What do we think?
Decent.
It's fine.
When he dropped, I was really into it. Red has now a 4 cost evasive with 2, 5 cost evasive with 2 lore, and a 6 cost evasive at 2 lore. So like if you could just drop those back to back to back, then you're just questing all day long unless they have an answer to evasive. And then Tinkerbell came out and Swords came out, and I was like,
rip.
Yeah.
So maybe the first set is balanced. Maybe.
I feel like every card is going to be, but then Tinkerbell came out.
Her name's Tinkerboom.
Evasive is still good. Right. It's still valuable. I mean, it's not that exciting, but I think it's playable.
Yeah.
In the right deck.
It's tricky to think like Pascal's really good with evasive because he's so early that it's getting you that early early quest. Wow, wrong game. I don't know. In the mid game, it feels a little clunky, but then I like Mickey late because it's evasive questing for 4. So I don't know if this one.
You don't have to get to 8 if you are playing stuff like this.
True. Yeah.
Yep.
But I don't know.
All right. Next up, we've got, speaking of 1 cost, 1 health stuff, we've got Lilo in yellow, cost 1, not inkable. It's a 1/1 with 2 lore pips, and this is a rare, actually.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as the purple Maleficent, just yellow.
I still think that this stat line is good. Even with Tinkerbell existing, like you're playing this turn 1 most of the time anyway, so you don't have to worry about Tinkerbell until turn 4. And you're going to get the questing out of this that you're going to get out of it, especially with like the Simba we just saw. If you play this turn 1, Simba turn 2, you get the quest, and then they can't trade into it. They have to trade into your Simba. So it feels like it. I actually like it better in orange than I do in purple. So
makes sense. Yeah.
Specifically with like the big Stitch who's wanting all of the 2 or less costs coming through with it.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah. Seems boring on paper. Like this feels weird as a rare. Like a vanilla card at rare just seems strange, but it's a decent card for those kind
There's
of.
There's a lot of vanillas in this set though, so some of them are gonna have to be rare.
I'm just thinking like if I open my first pack of like a card game, I've never played a card game before. I like Disney.
This is your rare.
This is my rare in the first pack.
Rares
like, this game's
in a
trash.
pack though?
I'm not sure.
2 rares in a pack.
Did they announce how that works?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There might be.
I can't remember exactly, but I think there might be 2. But I
wouldn't be surprised.
It probably is the cheapest way for you to get 2 lore on a character, right? So like there's something interesting there at least.
Yeah. It's definitely not a bad card.
Good.
Yeah. All right. Well, while David's gone, I'll queue up the next one. We've got an eel. It's Flotsam, Ursula's Spy, and it's an uninkable 5 cost 3/4 with Rush. and an ability called Dexterous Lunge. Your character is named Jetsam, gain Rush. And we'll see Jetsam in a minute, obviously. But let's talk. Actually, should we talk about them together? Probably makes sense.
Yeah, and this
together.
one quests for 2 as well.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, 2 lore. All right, so then Jetsam is a 4-cost 3/3 with evasive, and it has the ability Sinister Slither. Your character is named Flotsam, gain evasive, and has 1 lore. So they work together to give each other evasive or rush. Jay, you've played around with this card a good bit.
Yeah, I actually like. A lot of people have been down on these 2 cards, but I actually like them quite a bit. In the current meta of the game, there's less people playing evasive, but this came out in a time that I guess I don't know. This came out after Tinkerbell, so I don't know. But either way, it definitely gives us an answer to evasive. I like being if you have one of these on the board and then you play the other one, you're able to rush into an evasive character, which previously there was no way to do something like that. So I like that there's an answer to evasive and rush. Along with that, having Jetsam on board and then being able to rush and have evasive means that if they don't have evasive or in a way to deal with an evasive creature, then you get to rush without worrying about being immediately tacked back into, which I think is sweet, especially since he has 2 quests, and then you just like play 3 of these and then you're just questing for days. I like these cards.
Yeah, Pongo is very sad if he comes up against Flotsam and Jetsam, as the instantly just gets rocked by him.
Absolutely true.
Yep.
All right, David, you want to take it back?
Sure.
Here we go.
All
Just
right.
in time.
Speaking of Tinkerboom, would you like Tinkerboom on a song? We've got Gaston's moment. Grab your sword. It's a steel action song. Cost 5. It's not inkable, which is a good thing. But obviously, a character with 5 or more can exert to sing the song for free. But it says deal 2 to each opposing character. Not 1, not 2, all of them. So, see ya, Rockstar Stitch.
This
Kill
card's
everything.
insane.
It's so good.
This is like top 3 cards in the game.
Yeah.
Like right behind Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
And the fact that they both exist and they both exist in the same color is just insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
the fact that you could play this for free, theoretically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's
the
what
crazy
pushes
thing.
it over the edge for me, for sure. Because say it's turn 5 or it's turn 6. You just played a 5-cost character. Turn 6, you drop Tinkerbell, deal 1 to everything, and then sing with this with the 5-cost character to deal 2 more to everything. So you just wipe everything that's 3 or less health. That's nuts. That's an 11-cost swing on a turn 6.
Yeah, Jay and I played a bunch of games the other day, and he did that multiple times where it was like, already have something on board that you can use to sing this, and then play Tinkerbell and sing on the same exact turn, or play 2 of these in the same turn. You just sing with one, and then you cast the other one with your ink or whatever, and you just clear your opponent's board. Like the fact that this is one-sided, is crazy, crazy. There's
it's real good.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about it. It's real.
I don't think so. Basically, everything that we said about Tinkerbell applies to this. So
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I think it's funny with just how little board control we had early. Now we're starting to get it, and it's like, oh, okay, this is.
I remember all the conversations among the community about oh, are we going to see any board wipes? And so many people were adamant. They're like, oh, we'll never see a board wipe in this game. They don't want you to clear a board, blah, blah, blah. That's all very, very much out the window. Yeah. And honestly, probably for the better. I feel like a more nuanced game right now.
Yes, for sure.
So speaking of needing lots of health to survive
speaking of buff,
we've got Triton, the Sea King, coming in blue, coming at 7 cost, inkable. He's a 5/9. 5/9.
Wow.
He big.
And 2 lore.
He should have been a 6/9.
With 2 lore. Yeah, 2 lore, but nothing uncommon.
Got him.
That got me.
Wait, what'd you say?
Nothing.
Great.
I'll tell you when you're older.
There it is.
Jinx.
So this card is fantastic, not
It's so
because
good.
it's Jeff Goldblum as a mermaid, but because it's just fantastic. I play this in all my blue decks. Blue
This trades with Tinkerboom.
Yeah,
Therefore, good.
the stat line is so good. Like you can get away with playing a vanilla card that is like this because it's so much health and it has enough attack to basically kill anything that it wants to.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And it has two lore.
We're in this space now where like the health matters way more than we ever thought it did.
Yeah,
yes.
it's such a more interesting like game right now where you can play this. You like this card was not like would have not been playable without Tinkerbell and without Grab Your Sword or whatever.
That's so true.
Yeah. To the point where like now I'm looking at Olaf with the 3 health at 1. I'm like,
right? I had that thought too, where it's like, oh, is 1-3 the stat line right now? I don't think it is, but it's worth considering. I'm like, it's more of like, oh, I'm at least considering it based on what all this is. So yeah,
it's definitely my favorite time of Lorcana right now because it's the Timmy era until something comes out.
You can play your big stuff.
Yeah, until something else comes out that shifts the meta, which always happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
It's definitely the Timmy era, which I love because I get to just play tons of Tritons and Mauis and just laugh.
Spend.
That's good. All right, next up, we've got a new Ariel coming in yellow. It's 3 costs. She's inkable. She is a princess, which is not nothing. Has 2 strength, 3 willpower, and Singer 5. We've got kind of a new little keyword here that this character counts as 5, cost 5 to sing songs. So we just had the grab your sword. You know, Ariel could come in grabbing her sword and wrecking some fools. Has 1 Lord Pip and an ability called Musical Debut. When you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a song card and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck in any order. And it's a super rare. This isn't they value this. So
I think it's cool. I like the search the top 4 cards of your deck part. That's pretty neat. I have to imagine that we're gonna see like a song deck, and that's just like the whole gimmick of the deck.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the necklace in a little bit, but I think that would tie into whatever that deck looks like. Singer 5 is really interesting. We don't really have like that many songs that we can sort of use this with. We have, Grab Your Swords, Let It Go, and Jay was mentioning to me the other day, Friends on the Other Side you can do with no wait, that was Sebastian. So I guess it's really just 2 right now.
There's a 4 cost song. What is it? I think maybe not. I don't remember now.
There might be. I don't know. It's probably bad if I don't know what it is.
I was looking at this with like a rush deck, and it seemed pretty good with Friends on the Other Side to be able to immediately cycle through to find that draw. That seems really good.
So I've played quite a few games in the last couple of days, and I've ran into several people playing an Ariel with the new necklace, which we'll talk about in a second, steel deck. And it's been like, it kind of pops off. It's actually really cool to see them, like what they're doing with the deck. It just doesn't, I beat it every time, but it was cool to see some of this. Like, I think it could possibly be good eventually when we get more stuff for it. But they would have like a couple of the necklaces out. They would bring her out, get swords from their deck, and then she's able to sing it. Like if you had another one already in play, then you get to, like, say you play Ariel turn 3 and then you play another Ariel if you need to, then you're able to sing that song on turn 4 instead of turn 5, which is kind of cool. I mean there's not much to say about it, but I've seen some pretty cool decks that pop off of drawing cards and crap.
I will say also that I really like cards like this that sort of force you to reevaluate it every time new cards come out. So every time in the future that we get a song that costs 4 or 5, you got to look at this and see, okay, is that song so good that it's synergizes really well with this? So
right.
And again, I think the princess thing is not insignificant when you're talking about Moana. So
For sure.
all right, next
Oh,
card
she
we've
could
got.
sing twice in a turn with Moana. That's pretty spicy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So that's
I
cool.
didn't even consider that. I was combining her with Merlin and Moana, so I was turning her into like a 5 strength missile, throwing her at Tinkerboom. So, all right, we've got Anna. So we've had Elsa for forever, and we've got the matching Anna, which I thought was a really cool reveal for like theme and everything. But she costs 4. She's inkable. She's a 2/4 with 2 lore pips in purple, obviously uncommon, with an ability called Loving Heart. When you play this character, if you have a character named Elsa in play, choose an opposing character. The chosen character doesn't ready at the start of their next turn. So you can use Elsa to exert Elsa and exert one of their guys, and then Anna makes it so, hey, they don't actually ready. So just freezing them down with all the ice. Nailed it on the theme.
Yeah.
Yep, that's true.
I think it's decent. 4 health is decent to have, and then 2 lore. I think where this is like the best is late game. If it's like tied and they have one character out that will win them the game on their turn, then they're able to like Elsa and then play this, and they don't get the quest on their turn, and then you end up winning because of that. The tricky part is you have to remember. So like I played Mike the other day, and you guys can go back and watch this. And I froze his Tigger, but he readied it anyway. So
I didn't even know that.
Yep, go check our latest YouTube video, Coach. Go check the footage. I get that W. But yeah, I mean it's interesting. I don't like the Anna Elsa better than the Eels, but maybe some people do.
It's cool to see more sort of like synergy among thematic things. I like that.
Yeah. I played a little bit of this, and I worked really hard to pull off the combo several times, and then lost the games. So
yeah, exactly.
So it was cool when it worked. And I was like, oh yeah, that's great. And then like eventually those, unless you have stuff to deal with the exerted characters or whatever.
Yeah, you need a way to capitalize on it.
Right, like if you can play into a Zeus the next turn and challenge the exerted character, or a Rafiki or something like that. But so I like it. The 2 lore pips definitely save it.
I think it's better in a meta like now where everyone's playing high cost things. So it's like you're able to freeze one of their high cost things is better than like a go wide deck. Against a go wide deck is very not very affected.
That makes sense. I wonder if they'll have a 7 cost Elsa that can shift onto the 3 cost on turn 5. So you like freeze something, keep it frozen on turn 4, and then turn 5 like bring it in, and then maybe it does something to like exhausted characters or something like that. I could see that being fun, being cool.
Yeah. I do like the design style they've chosen as far as combos in this game. Seem very easy to figure out, but probably for new players, that'll be really exciting when they're like, wait, these combo really well. That discovery's cool. I like that a lot.
Definitely.
All right, we finally have Gaston. It costs 2 in red, inkable. He's a 4/2 at 2 cost, guys. This seems pretty good. He's a villain, and he has built-in reckless. So this character can't quest and must challenge each turn if able. He doesn't even have any lore pips, guys. First
even if
no
you wanted
lore.
to quest.
First no lore with built-in reckless. So I think everyone got really excited to see Gaston when this came down at like 10 p.m. on one of those nights, and then and I feel like people have cooled a little bit. What do you guys think?
I haven't tried it yet.
I think if he had Rush, I'd be excited. He doesn't have Rush, and that makes me infinitely less excited about him.
It is a villain, so maybe with Hades it's decent.
We haven't seen Hades since it was just the first cards.
It's probably dead long before Hades comes out, though. So I don't know. 2 health is rough.
Or yeah. Because what's Hades' text? He gets +1 for each villain.
Yeah, he gets +1 more for each villain.
So you could have Hades out and then drop some of these exerted guys, so that theoretically you get 2 turns with Hades questing with these little Gastons popping out. But I would love to find a deck where that villain theme hits really well because I think Gaston screams like, oh, just a hateable villain. So,
yeah.
I think that the drawback is so much worse than what they gave stat wise. Like, this should be a 4-3 probably.
I'd say 5-2.
Even a 4-4. Honestly,
yeah.
Like you can't like you can't quest with it. Like you draw these late game and you don't.
Or
advance
it should be
your
like
win
a 1
condition
cost, a 1 cost or something
for these stats. Yeah, I don't know. It
seems really bad. We are going to get another Gaston though, so we'll be able to shift on this probably.
Yeah, hopefully.
Or he definitely will, because I don't know if you guys heard about it, but Board Game Reviewer got stuff early or something, and in the review he said a smart Gaston, so it's going to be a Floodborn
cool.
and all the Floodborns have shift, so
got it.
It's definitely going to have shift.
That's cool.
Okay. Cool.
Oops.
Well, all right.
We got the.
Is it a noops? We don't really know. All right. Next one.
It could just be bait too. I don't know. They could be lying.
True. We've got Sebastian, Little Mermaid Week. Cost 2 in yellow, inkable. He's a 2/2 with 1 lore pip and singer 4. This character counts as cost 4 to sing songs.
Yeah. So
there's no 4 cost songs right now, but
the only one
makes me think there will be.
Yeah. Under the Sea surely will be a forecast as well.
Oh yeah, has to be, right? Has to be.
That's sweet.
Yeah, you can sing Friends from the Other Side of Turn Early, I guess. Which Jay pointed out to me. But yeah, I don't know. Nothing really much to say until we get more songs that you can use with it.
So far, 2 cost 2/2s have not been good.
Yep.
True.
Yep. All right, we've got Ursula's Shell Necklace. This is a yellow item. It costs 3. It is not inkable. And its ability says, now sing. Whenever you play a song, you may pay 1 resource to draw a card.
I think it's kind of cool. Like it has the potential to be really good.
I was just gonna say I think this is actually bad.
It probably is bad, but it has potential to be really good.
It has a big upside for future sets.
The thing there's a few things I don't like. One is that to draw your first card, you have to pay 4 resources, and then you're even on value because you could have just not had this and then had the other card. Magic Mirror is trashed here. Like I'll never put that in a deck.
Clip that.
It also can't be inked, and I don't understand why. Like, this does not, to me, seem like a card that's so good that it has to be uninkable. It seems difficult to run a lot of items in your deck because a lot of them are uninkable. And I ran into this in one of the games that I played with Jay, where you just have to play a bunch of stuff that you can't ink, and it's sad, and you have to rely on ramp or card draw or something to sort of smooth it out for you. But I don't know. Maybe it ends up being good.
I wonder if like the item synergy forces them to make a certain amount of items uninkable so that you can't just like be broken. The
payoff probably doesn't exist yet, or at least we haven't seen it yet, and maybe that just changes everything. Like there is the argument that like, okay, this doesn't cost 3 if you get to quest with Belle. Now it costs 2 or 1. I don't remember exactly what Belle does because she's terrible. But Maurice also decreases it by 2. So like, maybe you're playing this for 1, but that's still late game anyway. And there's like the thing I've learned about the item deck is that so many things have to line up for it to be good. And if you're relying on one of those cards in order to discount this, you also then have to find a bunch of songs to be able to draw off of this as well. So I don't know. So
I think this is better in a not item deck because the item decks that you've been playing, you have to draw everything like cycles. Like this requires this, which requires this, and it's just like a cycle. Whereas if you just play this with Ariel fetches you that song.
That's true.
To be able to sing, and she makes singing easier for you because she's a singer 5. So I think that synergy together is just better than like the items.
I guess like best case scenario, you play Ariel turn 3, you find a song that she can play, you play this turn 4, and then you have 1 resource left over, and you use Ariel to sing a song, and then you pay
Draw
your
a
last
card.
to draw a card.
Which has happened to me.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I've seen the Ariel Ursula shell like pop off, but it hasn't beaten me yet, so it's probably still not good. But it's been really interesting to see.
Yeah. This is definitely one that, like, you know, a revisit over time.
Yeah,
until it gets good.
And if we get like 1-cost songs, I don't know.
Yeah,
I do think it should be inkable. To your point. But we need to move on. Next up, we've got another red spoiler. It's a 1-cost red action called Fan the Flames. LeFou's doing some stuff. Says ready, chosen character. They can't quest for the rest of this turn. Uncommon.
There's some combos here.
Well,
really good with
Tinkerbell.
Aladdin. Yeah, really good with Tinkerbell. Really good with Aladdin.
Yep.
Mulan. Yeah. Basically anything that wants to be attacking.
Hades
or singing.
The villain Hades action, you know.
Wait, which one?
The 8-cost. He gets +1 for each villain. Oh, he can't quest.
But yeah, we can't quest.
Yeah,
sadly.
never mind. Yeah. So you definitely want to be able to fight.
Yeah, or sing, I guess.
I mean, anything big too. Like anything big that can just trade into 2 things and survive.
Mm-hmm.
Like Triton.
So I guess you like. No, that doesn't work either. Sorry, I'm like trying to find the, like, if it's like, because it's got LeFou, so I was thinking, is there Gaston synergy here? But
maybe the biggest one.
Yeah, maybe we haven't seen it yet.
Smart Gaston.
I mean, there's technically synergy with the fighting Gaston if you don't die on the turn that you attack into something.
Yeah, kills Baby Hook and then kills.
Yeah, and it kills something. Yeah,
Maleficent.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got a blue action. If it's not Baroque, haha.
Classic.
I love this card name.
Cost 3, not inkable. Return an item card from your discard to your hand. Mike, you love item decks.
I do, but I think this card's terrible.
Why is it not inkable?
I don't know why you would ever want this in a deck and pay 3 for it. There has to be some, right. There has to be something that makes this pop off because it's just too bad otherwise. And it's a rare. This is a rare.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume you're right. I'm gonna hope you're right.
There has to be.
Because if I open a $6 booster pack and pull this as my rare,
give me Lilo instead. Come on.
And there's like. Yeah, it doesn't even just put it back onto the field either. Like it goes to your hand, so you have to pay 3 to get it back, and then pay whatever its cost is.
Yeah,
that's so terrible.
Compare this to Hades, to the 4-cost Hades. You get a 3/2 as well, and you can't get an item. But like, why would you want to yet? There may be a world in which we do want to, but we haven't seen it.
There has to be items that you discard on use. That's the only thing I can think of. It's like there is one already. There's the
the fan.
Well, I mean, like good ones,
but good ones.
Good. Maybe there's even like an 8-cost item that you drop, like that they're all building that little dream catcher thing. Maybe that's an item.
That'd be cool.
8 cost.
That'd be cool. Oh, dude, what if it was like Exodia, and you get like the dream catchers like cage, and then you get the dream catchers like, I don't know, gem or whatever, and then you combine them all together and obliterate.
You win the game.
I want Rafiki's staff. Like it's got to be a thing. You could just hit guys on the head. But I part of me feels like they're future proofing the game and saying like, oh, let's make this 3 and not inkable just in case we release some sick items.
That's fair. That's fair.
Could be abused.
But right now it's bad. Until I see something else.
Yep. All right. Next up, we've got a steel action called Break. Cost 2, it's inkable, and it says banish chosen item. It's gone.
Thank goodness they made this.
I hate all this item hate. It's like items are already not good. You're gonna print a really cheap card. Yeah, that is inkable. That makes it good. I mean, I don't know like when, like it's in steel, right? And so is Beast that just kills all the items.
Why would you ever play this?
So yeah, I feel like you just play Beast.
Exactly.
Because you get a 4/4.
This just seems bad to me, like terribly bad.
Yeah.
Same.
All right.
All right, Mike. I think you got this one because this is in.
Yeah, we're on to the German cards. There were a bunch of cards that were
say it in German.
Well, fortunately, the card's name is Aladdin, so that'll be easy.
Aladdin. You gotta yell it.
They had some kind of event in Germany, evidently, where they revealed like 5 cards. So we have Aladdin, who's red, and it's a 3-cost 2/2 with an ability called Mir wild schon was einfallen.
I caught that. That was good.
Which says something like when this character challenges and survives, I think, or challenges and banishes the opposing character, they lose a lore.
No. This one is it's just when you play it, they lose
when
a
you
lore.
play it. Okay. Well, I'm glad that you guys know. So, yeah, 3-cost 2/2. When you play it, your opponent loses a lore. It has 1 lore itself. What do we think?
Yep.
Not bad.
Give me that shift Aladdin synergy.
Yeah, I think that's the only reason why this is playable is because you can shift the bigger Aladdin onto it in the same color without having to play green.
Yeah, I mean that's some good lore lore control in the same house or same color to drop this, and then drop Aladdin who also you gain 2, they lose 2, and he can do something for get 2 lore pips, he can quest or whatever because it comes in ready. That seems really good.
Yep.
I don't know.
I'd rather this be a 4-cost 3/3 or something, or 3/4.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of awkward. Like, you're not really going to want to use this the turn after you play it if you're planning on shifting.
And if you are planning on shifting and your opponent just fires the cannon, then you just lose that synergy anyway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the fact that it gets hit by fire of the cannons is pretty
3.
rough. It also gets hit by the draw your swords or whatever. So it very risky card to
Tinkerbell's
play.
extra too.
Mm-hmm. Very
At least it has a playability.
I mean, the playability is not bad though. I think forcing your opponent to lose one is like almost as good as you gaining one, depending on the situation. It not as good, obviously, but I think it is good. But I
think it's honestly best against decks that are trying to do the like super go wide early game, because they're just trying to barely get to that finish line, and so this kind of makes that finish line that much further where they get.
I feel like they value lore loss incredibly high.
Yeah,
because even Rapunzel is not good.
Yeah,
that's not the worst thing in the world though. I think like if there's a mechanic in the game that's like has the potential to be tilting, it's that.
For
so
sure.
Yeah,
true.
I can appreciate it.
I wonder if it's kind of like what we talked about previously with like heroes seem to have the defensive, villains seem to have the offensive kind of mentality, where that feels like the defensive, they're not going to overdo it because then the game just gets unfun.
Yeah, perhaps. All right. Oh, you want to talk more about that one?
Oh, well, I was just gonna say we have a spoiler that counters that theory that Jim just made, but we can go ahead and hit this one. This is easy. This is another blue Maleficent, everybody. Yep. So we got to learn the
5 Maleficents.
Oh my gosh, I don't understand that, but maybe one day I will. Cost 5, Inkable. She's a 3/6. We like the health, guys. Mm-hmm. We like the 6 health and 3 lore pips.
This is a banger.
3
at this moment. This card is insane. It's one of the best cards in my blue deck by far. I mean, it's basically Moana is a 5-cost Inkable with 6 health and 3 quests. Moana has a cool ability that synergizes with princesses, but only has 1 attack, which is trash. This has 3, which I will play over Moana every time, probably, unless I'm playing like specifically a princess deck.
Yeah, well, and it's in blue instead of yellow,
orange,
whatever color you want to call it, and it's better in the Tinkerbell deck than yellow is, or amber, whatever. So yeah, this is real good.
And 6 is the break point for Tinkerbell right now, so it feels real good.
Yeah, this makes that blue Mickey fantastic, which I raved about on our previous Mickey tier list. You play Mickey on 3, this on 4. You're loving life. You're welcome, everyone. That's why I said it was S tier.
All right. I've actually got this one pulled up, Mike, so I can read this one. We've got Prince Philip, In yellow, costs 4, not inkable. He's a 3/3 with 2 lore pips, with an ability something like heroism, something like that. But basically, if this character it challenges and banishes. No, sorry, I'm reading somebody's translation of it, and I just realized it's very weird. If this character challenges and is banished as a result, you may banish the challenged character. So basically, Cheshire Cat on the offense.
On reverse. Is it banish the challenged character, or is it just banish any other character? It has to be the character that you're challenging.
The challenged character, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So it just has infinite attack, basically.
You could throw this into Tinkerbell,
Maleficent,
and or Maleficent, like
9 cost, because I think his thing is Dragon Slayer.
Oh, sure, that makes sense.
Nice.
So he just swings into Maleficent, 9 cost Maleficent, just chops its head.
Draken Bondinger.
Yeah, exactly.
There it is.
I haven't played with it. This is a new card, like recent to us doing this video, so I haven't even tried it yet. Seems cool.
Seems neat.
I happened yesterday. I played like 3 games, and I played against Triton in every game. And in that situation, like, I'd like to see Prince Philip, because I was like, how the heck do I get rid of this 9 health behemoth? And so I was like, okay, I see where Philip could be interesting.
Ooh, as an uninkable card, though, in that deck, you putting that in there?
Good question.
Possibly.
There's like a couple things going for it, and then a couple of things that are like big downsides. So the good things, it can quest for 2, so it can help you win the game. It can kill anything, so it can help you get through like insane amounts of health. The bad things, can't ink it. That sucks. It has a 3/3 stat line for 4, which also sucks. So, and you have to wait a turn, unless you give it rush. You have to wait a turn before this is like useful, so your opponent sees it coming. You're probably not wanting to play this on 4, because then your opponent just doesn't play the big thing.
Yeah,
it's very slow, and Dragonfire is just better.
Yeah,
version of this.
Yeah, but that's red. I feel like you have to look at this in the color that it.
That's true.
You're not wrong.
True.
You're not wrong.
And they will get to use that big thing first, because it has to be exhausted. So it's like they're still going to get some really good value out of that big thing before you can get it off the board.
There's basically yellow has no removal, right? So
right.
Yeah,
it's a way to get you there.
If I'm playing this, I'm probably playing Pocket Watch, so that I can just immediately do the thing.
Yeah. Purple doesn't have any removal either, so maybe it's just like that might be good enough.
Yep. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh.
You want me to read it?
You got this. Someone else got this.
We've got Musketeers tabbing. Yeah, you want to go, Jay?
Yeah, 4 cost, uninkable, Musketeers tabbing. It's an object. I think it's supposed to say item. All for one and one for all. Each time one of your characters with Bodyguard is banished, you may draw a card. There's no such thing as a lone musketeer, and this is in steel. Seems expensive.
It's another expensive, uninkable item that draws you cards, and it's just expensive.
But you don't have to pay to draw a card.
Yeah, you don't have to pay each time, so I like that. But you do have to pay for all the characters that are dying in order for you to draw. But maybe you just chain into a bunch of Bodyguard stuff, and your opponent can't kill the thing that you're questing with. So
immediately my brain just went to like, okay, when can I make an all Bodyguard deck? You know, so it's just like anytime. So once this thing hits the board, anytime you kill one of my guys, because you don't. It's like each time. So if you kill multiple in a round, then you're just drawing cards. I think
this is gonna be really awkward to play though, because it costs 4. So it's like, are you really wanting to play this on turn 4? Like, this is the thing that you're doing that turn, and then after that you're going to play a bunch of Bodyguards and get value out of it. I'm a little skeptical that is a thing that you can actually.
But we've seen some decks that like don't really care about early game at all. Like the Rockstar Stitch deck, for a while it was like it could have zero lore for most of the game, and then all of a sudden it pops off in like some massive turn.
Are you playing this on turn 4, or are you shifting into Tinkerbell on turn 4?
It's
that's
just
why I don't think it's a
different
card.
deck, right? Like,
Yeah, but it's a worse deck.
well, okay, well,
Look. This is how you play this.
Okay.
You play it in a blue deck. You ramp like crazy. The game's slower right now because of Tinker Boom. So you play this in a ramp deck. You get Maurice out on turn 4. Turn 5, you're questing,
you play this for 2.
Playing this for 2, and then you're playing.
I forget about Maurice.
You're playing Hercules. You're playing Mickey Mouse Musketeer, and you're drawing cards for
Simba.
days, Coach.
Prince Eric, you can play Simba with them.
Simba at 2, you know?
No, because you're playing Blue Steel. You ain't got Simba, Coach.
Yeah, but you can play
Blue
Prince Eric.
Blue doesn't
he's
have any
challenging.
bodyguards.
Yeah, no bodyguards in blue.
So it's trash already. Next spoiler.
I don't know. I'm not sold yet.
No,
we got one left.
Oh yeah, what's his name?
So Minnie Mouse, and it's just
Mr.
a red
Clean.
1/3, right?
We think it's a 1/1/3.
That's
Minnie Mouse.
that's the rumor. That's the
But
word
that's
on the street.
Very unconfirmed.
Yeah.
I love the guy
We
holding
would put
the
it in
card.
here anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have a better image for it by the time I can put this video together.
That's great.
Meh,
Yeah.
bad.
I'm glad that we
Yeah.
ended on the most exciting card that we had to reveal.
That's why people come for Unplayable at the 52nd minute. Bad.
So bad.
All right, we went way too long in this video.
God, I told you it's gonna be an hour. 52 minutes. Jeez.
Too many. It's a good problem to have. Too many
All right,
spoilers.
we got 8 more minutes to talk about Minnie Mouse. Let's make sure we can get everything
Oh
in
my
there.
gosh.
Make sure we go the full hour.
That's right.
On that note, be sure to join our Discord where every time spoilers post, it's like immediate conversation going. So if you're not in our Discord, click the link in our description that Mike's going to put there and join the Discord. Listen to the podcast. Thanks for tuning in for all these minutes. If you stuck with us, you're the real reals. So see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.